Few years ago, yung Huawei sensor was only initially available on Huawei's P series smartphones. We'll say no more as the newly released Nova 9 is getting a better, upgraded Huawei sensor. By the way, kung di mo alam yung Huawei sensor, chillax ka lang, pag-usapan natin yan mamaya. I think para sa akin, game changer upgrade ito, especially for a mid-range smartphone that you'll definitely love, especially if you love taking photos and videos tulad ko. Why is that so? We'll find out later. Hey everyone, it's being your tech dude here. Before we start, sponsor time muna tayo. CDKOffers.com is an all-in-one website where you could buy affordably cheap software and games license keys. They offer a vast catalog on their site. Just simply look for whichever software games you're looking for. Click on the buy now button and you should be taken to the order confirmation page. I know their license keys are already cheap, but want to make it cheaper? Simply enter DUDE20, which is an exclusive discount code that will give you a 20% discount from your purchases. Then enter your payment details and you should immediately receive the key once the payment has been confirmed. After receiving the key, you can then activate your software or games instantly. That's just how easy it is in CDK offers. Plus, should you encounter any problems or issues, feel free to contact their chat support that will assist you instantly, well based on my experience. So pinadalan tayo ni Huawei nitong newly released Nova 9 and apparently maraming magandang upgrades ang nangyari dito sa Nova 9, which costs around 23,000 pesos for this particular unit or variation na hawak ko ngayon, which is the 256GB unit. What you will be getting straight out of the box of the Nova 9 is first this particular pin for ejecting the SIM card slot. And by the way, there are two model variations for the Nova 9, which is the single SIM and the dual SIM variation. You also get to have a free silicone case. It's pretty basic case just to protect your phone initially from scratches and basically from damage. Let's just set aside this muna dito sa gilid. Next, you'll be getting the smartphone itself. And here is the actual unit. So itong unit na nakuha ko is a colored black. I'll talk more on the detail on the smartphone in a short while. Wow! Gilid muna natin yan. Next, you also get to have this Type-C connector for connecting your smartphone sa charger and also on your computer. You also get to have the 66-watt supercharger. This smartphone supports 66-watt supercharging. So, according to sa advertisement niya, you get to charge your smartphone from 0 to 100 in just 38 minutes. Here's the 66-watt supercharger adapter. Yeah. Silipin naman natin yung hardware specs nitong Huawei Nova 9 unit natin. The Nova 9 is equipped with an octa-core processor, which is the Qualcomm Snapdragon 778G 4G. There's two model variations pagdating dito sa Nova 9 unit natin, which is yung 128GB and yung 256GB unit, both equipped with an 8GB of RAM. With that kind of storage, that's plentiful enough. Di mo na kailangan mag-expand pa ng external memory. Well, wala naman pala talaga tong expansion slot or external memory slot. Anyway, marami ka nang may store na apps, photos, and videos sa ganong kalaking internal storage. That's usually more than enough na. Naalala ko tuloy nung uso pa yung 1GB na flash drive or yung pag-burn mo sa CD na 700MB lang yung capacity. Imagine ngayon 256GB na yung capacity nitong smartphone mo. Well, who knows, few years from now, terabytes na yung capacity ng mga smartphone. Moving on to the display of this Nova 9 unit. As for the display, you get to have a battery smooth 120Hz OLED that supports HDR, perfect for gaming and even for productivity use. And you get to have a 6.57 edged curved display. It also has in-display fingerprint recognition and also facial recognition. So I have properly configured the fingerprint on this Nova 9 unit, and the in-display fingerprint of this Nova 9 unit is quite responsive. You just tap it and you basically unlock it. You can't notice any delays or processing time, so that's another plus on this Nova 9 unit. Again, mid-range lang to, hindi to flagship unit ni Huawei. I also configured the face recognition on this Nova 9 unit and it works seamlessly. I'll just turn it on and it would recognize my face and I could just basically unlock it. So the facial recognition and biometrics of this Nova 9 is quite good, unlike dun sa mga other devices or smartphones na mabagal yung processing time nila, especially sa mga mid-range smartphones. As for the operating system, it supports the EMUI 12 and also the new Harmony OS 2, which is currently on its beta stage. Unfortunately, yung EMUI 12 and I think even the Harmony OS 2 doesn't have the Google Play services. As for the battery, it has a 4,300 mAh lithium battery that supports, again, I mentioned ko kanina, super fast charging, up to 66 watts of charging. There are 4 cameras dito sa back part ni Nova 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. The main camera of this Nova 9 unit is a 23mm wide 50 megapixels f1.9 camera that supports face detection autofocus. It also has an 8 megapixels f2.2 ultra wide camera, 2 megapixels f2.4 depth camera, and also meron rin siyang 2 megapixels f2.4 na macro camera. Since pinag-uusapan na natin yung camera nitong Nova 9, bukod sa mga lenses, isa sa mga pinakabagong upgrade sa camera nitong Nova 9 is the RYYB sensor. I won't delve deep into the technical definitions ng RYYB sensor, but it's a technology that's been used by Huawei in its previous flagship smartphones to improve their smartphones' low light capabilities on both videos and photos. Traditionally, most sensors out there uses the RGGB, which lets in the red, green, and blue light. So the difference with the RYYB is that the green is replaced with the yellow. We all know that if we add a red color to a green color, we would get a yellow color. Similarly, RYYB replaces the green with yellow, allowing both the red and green light to come to the sensor of the camera, thus basically allowing more light to pass through the sensor. The more light that is able to pass through your smartphone's camera sensor, the better the ability of your smartphone to see brighter in darker environments. If di mo nakuha yung pinagsasabi ko kanina, to sum it up, the sensor upgrade ni Nova 9, which is the RYYB sensor, will definitely offer an improved picture and video quality, especially in low light. I'll be showing you the sample photos and video footages that I managed to capture on this Huawei Nova 9. Here's one creative shot that I managed to capture with the Huawei Nova 9. And here's a sunset that I really like the colors that Huawei is able to capture in this particular photograph. Here's a video footage that I was able to capture using the Huawei Nova 9 under Pro mode, and take note, low light itong scenario na to, and also I was shooting using handheld only. I was not using any gimbal, and as you can see, the camera is quite pretty stable. Here's some other slow-mo footages that I was able to capture using the Huawei Nova 9. Although hindi ko nagustuhan yung picture quality nung 220 fps, but shooting at the 120 fps 1080p slow-mo, I think the footage is quite usable. And you could actually make more out of this particular camera when shooting using a good lighting environment. Especially kung gusto mo mag-shoot ng mga slow-mo footages, you could actually do so with a decent enough picture quality or video quality using the Huawei Nova 9. I think this is another good photo that I was able to capture using the Huawei Nova 9, and kitang-kita yung details and yung mga droplets ng tubig dun sa window or dito sa salamin ng sasakyan. And take note that this was shot around afternoon and makulimlim at that time, and it was able to capture it with a decent picture quality. And also, the background is properly separated from the foreground, kaya mas lalong crisp tingnan yung mga details nitong mga tubig na to. This smartphone also have this vlog mode wherein you get to use both cameras. I'm talking right now and nakatutok rin dito sa likod yung camera niya dito sa halaman. So, I get to speak at the same time. Nare-record rin natin yung nakikita ko on the back camera of the smartphone. I don't get the purpose of the both rare mode, but at least you get to utilize both of the lenses at the same time. Well, who knows? We'll be using it someday. Next, on the more options, you get to have the Pro mode, which is usually the mode that I'd like personally to work with kasi I have all the controls. Let's open up the Pro mode where you get to control the ISO, shutter speed, white balance, etc. You could also capture RAW on the Pro mode. So that's pretty powerful, especially if you're going to or if you're planning to color grade your photos or edit it and post. There are also other features such as the slow-mo, and apparently if you stick to the 32 times, you'll just be getting a 720p footage, whereas if you just stick to the 120 fps, you'll still be getting a full HD, which is a 1920 by 1080. You also get to have the panorama, which is of course known already, the aperture where you could also blur the background. I like this one for doing product photography because it simulates as if it has a really shallow depth of field, so you get that perfectly blurred background and crisp and sharp image at the same time. Aside from that, you get to have the time-lapse, moving pictures, stickers, documents, super macro, where you could place your camera near to an object and you get to have some macro shots. Yan yung macro shot niya. The Nova 9 only supports 4G LTE network, unfortunately. Sayang na kasi marami ng mga 5G units that are coming out right now, especially competitors ni Huawei. This phone supports already Wi-Fi 6, so you get to enjoy gigabit fast Wi-Fi speeds. It's like future-proofing your smartphone pagdating sa Wi-Fi realm. There's really no perfect gadget out there, but I believe the Nova 9 still packs a punch, especially pagdating sa camera quality niya, knowing that this is just a mid-range smartphone. Sayang lang kasi walang 5G support itong Nova 9. But still, para sa akin, the premium features like the Edge display, buttery smooth 120Hz refresh rate, and display fingerprint all gives Huawei Nova 9 a flagship vibes despite it being just a mid-range smartphone in the Huawei product line. I'm excited to see what lies ahead on the software level ni Huawei, knowing that they are constantly developing and upgrading their own operating system, which supposedly removes their dependence to Google. Right now, the app gallery of Huawei is also growing fast, but still there are some crucial apps and features that is lacking when compared to Google's native Play Store. That's it for my review on the Huawei Nova 9. Let me know kung anong impression nyo dito sa Nova 9 on the comment section down below. Again, it's your TECHY here. See you in my next tech videos.